Hello everybody and welcome to another one of our training videos. Today we're going to talk about growing others. Growing others. Very often as leaders, isn't it the case that we forget, especially the more senior we become, we run our own company, we run our own department, our own team, whatever it happens to be, and we are leading others. We often forget that we started down there somewhere and we grew over time. We mustn't forget that one of the greatest privileges and opportunities for leadership is to help others grow, to help others to achieve what they never thought possible or maybe didn't even imagine or uncover. I hope that what I'm going to share with you resonates. If it does, please like, share, comment, and indeed subscribe to the channel and follow us on other videos. My name is Chris Igwe. I have over 35 years experience working and living in 5 countries and developing, so creating, growing and leading teams in those markets, as well as across Europe, Middle East and Africa. Leadership is all about growing others. What I want to do is to just go through 3 strategies that I have used, which I hope will help you as well to help grow others. On the one hand, and we're going to start there, show you care. Show people that you care. What do I mean by that? Well, it depends on how you view your business and your world, but very often, whether you're an entrepreneur or you're in a big corporate environment, you should have traditional documentation which allows you at least once a year to sit down with members of your staff, those who report directly to you, and review what the plans and objectives were that were set the year before, where they are now, so you can measure all that. But there's measurement around work, performance, but there's also measurement around other things that the individual may have wanted to do or wishes to do in their life. You need to have a framework. And by show that you care, I mean this opportunity at least once a year means that you can sit down, spend an hour and a half with the individual, talking through where they were, where they are today, and where they want to go, but also where you want to see them go. In this moment, you're able to engage with them through a conversation around the steps that are needed. Bear in mind that during this process, they may not open up as easily. They may not know how to express themselves as easily as you may think. So you've got to be looking for what it is that they have that you believe you need to draw out and help make a success for them. You're pointing them in a direction in which you know they can go, or maybe they want to go and you're going to provide the tools to do so. So that's the first one, show that you care. And by showing you care, maybe it's annual, but I would recommend very strongly that you do it on a more regular basis, maybe once a quarter, to see how they're doing, discuss milestones that you've set up. Or it could even be more regular than that if they're struggling or they're challenged, but you know that there is huge potential there and you want to help them build that. You can't do it once a year. You've lost 12 months of time. Maybe once a quarter is too long as well. Maybe once a month. Maybe it's a quick 15-minute catch-up. It doesn't matter, but you have to show you care by being in their life through a formal or indeed an informal process. And I would put it to you that the more informal process is the setting time aside. Yes, you set time aside in the show you care more formal time. But when you set time aside, it's a deliberate, conscious act on your part to the individual who maybe wasn't expecting it, unless you've got it in the calendar. Then you say, let's catch up. I want to see how you're doing. I want to know what's going on. And the way that I've often done that, and it's really worked, is to have a coffee, a lunch, maybe a quick after-work drink with an individual or individuals. Ideally do it one by one. But be careful when you do it one by one on the basis that you've got to be democratic. So depending on how big your team is, you can't do it for everybody. But you can't do it for one person and not for another, because you're then creating a problem in the team. Favoritism. Why him or her and not me? But you want to talk to everybody. And also in the hierarchy of things, if you're going to do that with your senior managers, why aren't you doing it with your secretaries or the PA? But we'll come to that in a minute. But you want to take time, because when you take time, and it's often outside the office, so this coffee, this lunch outside the office, they are more likely to open up. They're going to feel, and you have to make them feel in a safe environment for that one-to-one conversation to come up. And you need to make them feel totally relaxed. That's when they may talk about their personal world, personal life, some other things that are going on in their world that you haven't seen or you don't know about. And they're maybe not likely to tell you in the formal review process. You may hear it from other members of the team. I used to have my PA be the one who is aware of all the sensitive aspects going on and feed that back to me, so I could put that into my sifting process and understand where somebody needed help or support or whatever. So set time aside to embrace, to nurture, to listen, and to speak with them. Grow and let them go. Grow them and let them go. What do I mean by that? Well, very often as leaders, let's be honest, we've got a great individual in our team. He or she is a top performer, brings in great business, runs the team magnificently, does this, does that, very impressed. What is the one thing you would not want? You don't want them to leave. You want them to stay. But as a leader, it is your role to help them grow and then to wave them goodbye and let them leave with dignity, if that is their choice. But you can never hold them back. If I look at myself, in my entire career, I've probably moved on average 3 to 4 years from one company to another. It wasn't by choice. I'm not a job hopper. But I got into a space where I would often get called by headhunters because I had a skill and knowledge and ability, and that's what companies wanted and might still need today, except that I've chosen to be an entrepreneur and run my own business without a view to re-entering corporate for the moment, but who knows. But my point is, 3 to 4 years was my lifespan. So who am I to turn around and say to somebody, oh, you can't leave because I want you to stay and carry on and fulfill this role or function, unless that person was going to take my position. So the reality is that you build people up, you help them grow, always with a view that they may move on. One company that I was at, the global CEO brought me in. I was there, did what I had to do because I love solving problems. So I'd solved the problem, and for me it was time to move on. I mentioned to him, which I always did before, I never wrote a letter directly. I would inform my boss and then write the letter and let them know. So I just think it's more appropriate in terms of style. That's what I would like others to do to me as well. So I let him know that I was planning to leave. He was so disappointed. He said, oh, I just thought we were going to retire together. We were about the same age. The idea of spending a long time, a few decades in that company was just not my idea of a good time, and I had no intentions. But he was gracious enough, very disappointed, but gracious enough to say, would you mind staying on a bit longer until I found someone to replace you as European Managing Director? I stayed on another 9 months or so and then moved on. So it was a win-win. He knew that I wanted to move on. I needed to move on. He accepted it, and that was fantastic. You have to let people go. Why do you let them go? Because as with this particular guy, we've remained friends ever since. I know his wife, he knows my wife. We've hung out together and so on, even after I'd left. Always allow them to leave on the best possible terms, because they will not only thank you, but they will become part of your bigger network, and you can build a friendship and relationship after that. So our key objective as a leader is to grow others, is to show them that we care, set time aside, quality time with them, and grow and let them go. And one thing amongst all that, which can probably fit into all of these categories, is companies I've been at, I've always done my best to nurture and look after my team, both individuals and together. And we've done some fun, cool stuff. We've done a tapas and sumo night, where you eat tapas, get into a ring, do some sumo wrestling. Been on a disco all night, well, it was 2 hours, in a disco bus for 2 hours in Paris. Everybody loved it. We dressed up like crazy, did ridiculous stuff. We'll have them over very simply to my home, and we have a barbecue in the summer once a year, bring the whole team together. They play table tennis, football, games, sing if they find instruments in the house. And it's just a moment in which everybody puts their battles aside, as it were. Although the sumo wrestling one brought out a few battles, there was some stuff that had to be sorted out afterwards, but that's part of the journey. But it made them forget the issues of the day and relax and enjoy each other's company, at least for an evening. As a leader, you were there to bring out the very best in your team, as individuals and as a collective team. What is it that drives and motivates them? What do they need? And how are they going to go from where they are to the next level and grow as individuals as well? It's our role and our responsibility to do that. And there are many ways of doing that. But hopefully these are a few starting points for you. If this video has resonated with you and you'd like to know more, subscribe to the channel. But at the same time, please like, comment, share, and we'll continue this journey together. Thank you.